Cat Civil War, the Mouse Civil War.
The Mouse Civil War?
Yes. Over 150 clerks and pages were killed. 2 librarians were wounded, slightly.
Hi, you alright? Oh, I'm fine. Damn mosquitoes.
We at the ALA object to the unfair and inaccurate stereotyping of librarians as roomy, effete, overeducated ne'er-do-wells, or worse. We are not mousy, shushing, over-repressed bookworms.
Good show, sport. Nicely done. Puzzle brandy.
Oh, sure.
What was that, Jim?
Man, the ALA is everywhere.
Oh, sorry. Please continue.
So, there were deaths and injuries. Vadnais Heights Library was burned to the ground. The Cathedral Hills branch sacked.
But this is terrible. What on earth caused this?
It was the Library of Congress versus the Dewey Decimal Classification Systems.
You mean people died? Caravaggio's were destroyed over something as ridiculous as how we shelved books?
There's nothing ridiculous about the hideous scourge known as the Library of Congress classification system.
Library of Congress classification system. And you!
Nothing is more insidious nor more dangerous to a library system than the dreaded Library of Congress classification system. Established just 30 years ago, this so-called classification system has cut an ugly swath across our great nation. Whole library systems have been utterly destroyed by its perverse letters first classified. Let's hear from Dr. Louis Schmettel.
Studies have shown that the brain corrodes a little bit at a time when we encounter the nefarious letters of the LC classification system. Perhaps we should not call it LC, but we should call it lousy. Get it? Yeah.
Lousy indeed, and deadly. Sociologist Ruprecht Fontainebleau.
Bonjour. The Bibliothèque Ohio adopted the Library of Congress classification system. As we see from the chart, the rate of library divorce immediately soared. The number of book return, covered in the blood, tripled 3 weeks. Monsieur Library Director, oui, eaten by the scarab beetle. Furthermore, a rash of the cannibalism in the employee break room. Library of Congress, merdi.
Yes, no one is safe from the Library of Congress classification system. Always carry with you a detailed Dewey Decimal conversion chart.
Can I help you?
Yes. Can you tell me where Library of Congress E468F7 will be located?
Well, in Dewey, 973.7 F68C is located in aisle 19 in numeric.
Resist peer pressure. People who use the Library of Congress classification system are neither your colleagues nor your friends.
You know, a lot of the cool librarians think letters first classification is pretty darn groovy. Having a little get-together at my place tonight, you should swing by. Maybe file the things LOC.
No thanks. I'm not interested in that. I don't need to file things LOC. Kicking time with my posse.
Always be on the lookout. Anywhere you're looking.
Dewey was a racist! Dewey was a racist!
Feel lucky, punk.
Mother.
Did I fire 5 shots?
Wait, Jim, stop the film. Stop the film!
What is it, Peter?
Doesn't that guy who was screaming about Dewey, the one who was shot, doesn't he look familiar?
Yeah, he does. Hey, I know. Hand me the 2002 In-Service Day movie. Watch this.
Always be on the lookout. Anywhere you're looking.
Dewey was a racist! Dewey was a racist! It's a perfect match. Oh my goodness. That guy was the running screamer.
But our running screamer footage was 80 years after that guy was shot.
The running screamer is a ghost.
And watch this when I slow it down and clean up the sound.
Dewey was a racist. Wow. But he still looks familiar from somewhere else. Hey, hand me a family photo album.
You're not thinking of our great-great-great-grandpappy Joe.
Who died in the Civil War. And so concludes Part 1 of our history of the suburban Ramsey County Library, Inception through the Civil War years. Part 2 covers the Reconstruction through the Depression era.
Say, did you know that F. Scott Fitzgerald danced with Zelda at the White Bear Lake Library?
Wow.
And also, Babe Ruth, in the 30s, Babe Ruth gave a batting demonstration at our He broke 16 windows. Also, during the Depression, are you aware that during the Depression, the lines for bread baking books at the Maplewood Library began to form at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Wow.
And I remember in the 60s, Roseville Library hosted a PM right on the corner of White and Asper.